Good morning, Mustangs. All right, I'm just gonna give a couple of minutes for people to get in here. I'm gonna check on my phone, make sure it's working. Happy Wednesday. Um, Hopefully we're ready. We're excited to start distance learning for real. All right, looking good. So I'm hoping that some of us are going to be able to pop in soon. If you're here, say hi. I'm sorry that you're tired. I'm tired too. It's been a long couple of days getting everything ready. Hey, good morning, Jenna. Hi, Hannah. Welcome. I'm excited to see you all here. I'm glad that I was able to make this work. I'm just going to start posting links everywhere so that everybody can get a chance to jump in. If you if you want to, good morning. Okay, I'm just gonna really quick put this on Twitter. Hey, Gunika. All right, so getting us started here. I'm hoping that this will be a fun way for us to check in with each other each day. Hey, good morning, Rocky. Hey, Gabe. Hey, Sunpreet. Well, it died for a moment. Morning, Cheryl. I'm hoping this will be a fun way for us to meet and connect. Hopefully, is like our hallway meeting. This is not necessarily where we're going to do class stuff. We'll do those in our Google meetings, and those can be posted in our own classes. But at least this way, we have a time to check in, say hi. You can see my face. Oh, so many. Hi, Hassan. Hi, Ayush. Hey, Roya. Hi, Alicia. Hey, Cassidy. Morning, Abby. If your stream isn't working, try going out and coming back in or refreshing. Maybe try it on a different device. This is new to me. So I'm hoping I am doing everything right. But if we keep having problems, I'll figure out what's going on. Right. Hey, Oliver. Hi, Sophia. Hey, Gautam. I'm so excited to have you all being here. Hey, Valerie. Hey, Alina. Okay, so here's what these streams are going to look like. We are going to sort of do it like this. We'll have good morning, say hi to each other, give you a little bit of an update on what's going on. I'm going to share a poem each day, and I am going to share a book talk, either for a book I'm currently reading or one that I think you would like. As we're here, if you have questions that are more general, go ahead and put them here. If you have questions that are more specific to like our classes and what we're doing, the actual lessons, we'll answer those in Google Meet. Okay. So let me see if I can answer some of these questions real quick. Jenna, you do not have to be in all of the Google Meets if you do not want to. You're required to come to 2 per week. It would be best if you could do them during your class period. So Jenna, you would come to the 3rd period Google Meet. But if that's not possible for you, for whatever reason, if there's any reason that that's not going to work for you, go ahead and come to a different one. Okay. I'd be happy to have you to be at all of them, but you don't have to be. Hey, Sana. Hey, Alan. Gabe and Alan, I'm glad that you're hyped for our Google Live. Hey, Maddie. Hey, Samuki. Hey, Mahum. So for the Google Meets, Abby, I just posted all of the links in Canvas announcements. So you can just go into the Canvas announcements and you'll see, Abby, you'll be looking for the 5th period link, and you'll click there and that'll bring you up. Each of the Google Meets are only scheduled for 15 minutes. If they go longer, that's fine. If not, if we get all of our questions answered quickly enough, then we'll be done. Okay. Hey, Gianna. Hey, Chev. Hey, Anthony. So I see your question there, which is how are we taking attendance? Because we know that there's so much going on, that our schedules are all sort of all over the place, we're not taking like sixth period attendance during your class. We're taking attendance based on your work completion. So as long as you're completing all of the work, you're getting attendance for our class. Hey, Angela. Hey, Cheryl. So, yes, you can absolutely ask questions on Hangouts. You can, like, just generally throughout the day, I'm available from 9 to noon. And then again, from 1 to 4 are like, I will be at my computer, send me questions. So you can just type them in Google Hangouts and I will see them and respond as quickly as I can. You can also participate in the Google Meets, which are video chats. They're like this, except you can also be on video and be either on video or just audio, and we can have like a real-time conversation. It's the closest thing we can get to class time. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions before I share my poem for today? Hey, Andy. It's so much easier when you all are on your school accounts because I can see your names pop up so quick. Okay, Hannah, what time are the Google Meets? So the times are all posted in Canvas for our daily schedule. They're all during your like normal class period for a 15-minute time period. So yeah, Alina's right. The first period one is from 8:30 to 8:45. So we'll just sort of switch over to Google Meet as soon as we're done here with the YouTube Live. I believe third periods is at 10, and then fifth period is 1, sixth period is at 2, and seventh period is at 3. I've scheduled them that way so that hopefully then if your other teachers are requiring you at during their normal class period time, that you'll easily be able to make it to ours. But again, if for whatever reason you cannot be in, so for example, like Alina, if you can't make it at 8:30, you have to do something, whatever that is, you're welcome to jump into a different class periods call. And I would be happy to answer any questions that you have then. I've posted all of the links for all of the times so that you can do that if you need to. So Marissa, Google Meets and Google Hangouts are connected somehow. I'm not completely sure. I'm not an expert in that. But you can go to either one to find what you're looking for. So for Meets, it's meet.google.com. And for Hangouts, it's hangouts.google.com. And you can find it that way. Gunika, hopefully I answered that question. There are Google Meets, at least for every class period I have. If you're asking about for all of your classes, like your math, your science, your social studies, I don't know. Every teacher is doing it a little bit differently. You might be doing something similar, but on a different program, maybe Zoom or Canvas conferences. But every teacher is doing it slightly differently based on our own personal circumstances. Everyone is sort of in their own special place with this process. I'm sure you all have a lot going on at home, and so do teachers. So we're all sort of trying to make it work the best that we can. Hey, Danielle, good morning. So Jenna, for our class, just for English, you need to come to 2 a week. Okay, so this week you'll choose 2 between Wednesday and Friday, and then next week between Monday and Friday you'll choose to come to 2 that you were required to come to. You can come to more than that if you want. Let's see. Yeah, Udaya, hopefully that answered your question. For our class, you're required for 2. You're welcome to come to more. Good morning, Naila. All right. Oh, Alina, so I see your question here. Google Hangouts is blocked. They are trying to fix that right now. Gabe, I see that you're having the same problem. IT is on it. They know that it's a problem. Yesterday, they were working pretty diligently to fix it. If that is the case for you, um, the way that you can get it fixed, you submit a tech ticket, uh, which is you just send an email to help@lammersvilleusd.net. Explain what your problem is, and that's how IT knows that it's still a problem for you, and they'll know to fix it. In the meantime, if you're not able to get on Hangouts, if you're not able to get on Meet, go ahead and send me your questions over email or over Twitter. Either tweet me or DM me there. Those are the places I'm going to be all the way on. Okay. I'm trying to be as available as absolutely possible, so that you are getting your questions answered. I'm fully aware that this is a stressful time for you, especially for you seniors. I know we talked about it on Friday before we left, how stressful this is for you. I actually have an article that I'd like to share with you. Maybe I'll read that on the YouTube Live tomorrow, or I'll send it out as a link. But I get that this is really stressful, and I'm trying to make it as least stressful as possible. Danielle, happy birthday. That's so exciting. How old are you today? 18, 19? A million? Hey, Heather. Yes, first period will be on Google Meet right after this, about 8:30. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get our poem ready so that I can, I'll read you a poem this morning. I will read you a little bit of the book that I am reading, and give you a little bit of a book talk. Sound good? Happy 18th, Danielle. Okay, let me get set up here. All right, I'm gonna start with my book talk, because my poem's having issues. So, Naila, you are still welcome to do quick writes. I'm not going to provide you prompts, but I am reading a poem. So if you wanted to do a quick write based on that poem, I think that's a great idea. That's a really good way for us to sort of stick with routine, and make sure that we are getting like our normal skills, keeping up with practice. Cool. Okay, so book talk. I'm book talking this book. I don't know if this is backwards for you. It's backwards for me. So here we are. This is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, by Jane Austen and Seth Grahame-Smith. This is the book I am currently reading. I read it. I started it just before we found out that school was going to be closing. And this has been a super fun read. If you saw the link, I put out like a whole list of books that you might want to read in this outbreak time. This sort of brings together two of those ideas. It has the Pride and Prejudice feel, which is all about like a happy ending. It's a funny book. It's a very like sarcastic and witty type of humor. For my seniors who just finished The Importance of Being Earnest, it's that kind of humor. It's witty and satirical. The other part that it brings in, though, is that it imagines the story of Pride and Prejudice if it was in the middle of a zombie outbreak. So the characters are like amazing zombie hunters and proficient in the art of killing the undead scourge upon their society. So it's a really fun, it adds a level of humor that I really like. So Gunica, it's similar to the original Pride and Prejudice because the foreword of this edition has a message from the author, and he goes into detail about what his process was. Essentially, he took the original Pride and Prejudice, which is in the public domain, and he reimagined it. So on every single page, he changed something, and on other pages, he uh, changed almost everything but kept something. So it is really similar to the original Pride and Prejudice. At least that's what I have found so far. I'm only about this far into it. So I have a bunch of book left to read. And I've read the original Pride and Prejudice a couple of times. So I know that story pretty well. So it's similar, but a fun play on it. So I'll read the first page of the book to sort of give you a feel for what it sounds like. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a zombie in possession of brains must be in want of more brains. Never was this truth more plain than during the recent attacks at Netherfield Park, in which a household of 18 was slaughtered and consumed by a horde of the living dead. "My dear Mr. Bennet," said his lady to him one day, "have you heard that Netherfield Park is occupied again?" Mr. Bennet replied that he had not, and went about his morning business of dagger sharpening and musket polishing, for attacks by the unmentionables had grown alarmingly frequent in recent weeks. "But it is," returned she. Mr. Bennet made no answer. "Do you not want to know who has taken it?" cried his wife impatiently. "Woman, I am attending to my musket. Prattle on if you must, but leave me to the defense of my estate." This was invitation enough. "Why, my dear, Mrs. Long says that Netherfield is taken by a young man of large fortune, that he escaped London in a chase, and just as the strange plague broke through the Manchester line. What is his name? Bingley. A single man of 4 or 5 thousand a year. What a fine thing for our girls! How so? Can he train them in the ways of swordsmanship and musketry? How can you be so tiresome? You must know that I am thinking of his marrying one of them." So that's the first page. So the story of Pride and Prejudice is about a family living in England in the countryside. There's a family of 5 daughters, and they don't know what is going to happen to them if they don't get married. And so their mother is really trying to get them married. And it focuses mostly on the second oldest daughter, Elizabeth Bennet. And she meets these people who move in nearby, next door, Mr. Bingley, who we heard about on the first page, and a man named Mr. Darcy. And at first, Elizabeth hates Mr. Darcy. He is rude and condescending, and just not pleasant. And she thinks that he hates him too. And it goes through, the problem is Mr. Darcy is best friends with Mr. Bingley, who Elizabeth's older sister, Jane, is in love with and wants to marry. So she sort of has to put up with him. So this is a fun book. I do recommend it if you can find it. If not, or if zombies are not your thing, I really recommend the original Pride and Prejudice. It's a really fun book. It's a little bit challenging. It provides a bunch of that like dry, sarcastic, satirical humor that's really fun. Hey, Natalie, welcome. What we are doing here is I just gave a book talk. We started by just chatting for a few minutes. There was a book, and then I'm going to read a poem, and then we'll sort of be done with it for the day. I'll have some more time to ask some questions at the end too. So if you have questions, especially while I'm reading the poem, go ahead and put them in. I'll make sure to answer them at the end. Roya, it is really cool. It's a really fun book. Yeah, I totally recommend it. So Naila had asked earlier, especially for our AP students, should we be doing a quick write as we are listening to this poem? You are welcome to. I will make sure that it's clear what the poem is and who the author is if you want to go back and read it. I think it's a great idea to keep doing a quick write, especially if you're thinking about for our skills. For all my sophomores, We had been doing quick writes a little bit differently. The way that we've done it in senior years, I've been giving a reading and then you do a quick write responding to it in some way. Um, so if you want to bring out your writer's notebooks, pen or pencil, feel free to do so. If you just want to listen, you can do that as well. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to take a drink real quick. Okay. So the poem I am going to read is one that seems really timely because it is really timely. This is written by a modern poet. She wrote this poem a week ago, just about a week ago today. It's written by Lynn Unger, and it's called Pandemic. Let me actually just go ahead and I will type the title of it into the chat. If you just search for it, you should be able to find it. So it's Pandemic by Lynn Unger. What if you thought of it as the Jews consider the Sabbath, the most sacred of times? Cease from travel, cease from buying and selling. Give up, just for now, on trying to make the world different than it is. Sing, pray, touch only those to whom you commit your life. Center down. And when your body has become still, reach out with your heart. Know that we are connected in ways that are terrifying and beautiful. You could hardly deny it now. Know that our lives are in one another's hands. Surely that has become clear. Do not reach out your hands. Reach out your heart. Reach out your words. Reach out all the tendrils of compassion that move invisibly where we cannot touch. Promise this world your love, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, so long as we all shall live. So, I found this poem last week. I really love it. I think it is so much what we are trying to do, what I am trying to do right now with these YouTube lives. I can't reach out with my hands. I wouldn't if I could, trying to keep safe and non-germy, but we can reach out with our hearts and we can share with each other. Social connection, right? It's something that I've been saying a lot and that I will continue saying. We do not need social distancing at this time. We need to be physically distant. That is essential for us. But we do not need to be socially distant. So I will be here. I will be around. And I hope that you can feel that. Please know that's what I'm doing. And that's part of why the project that we're going to be doing over the next 2 weeks is a passion project. It's about you finding something that you can love, something that you love, and something that you think will make the world a better place, right? That will bring that connection and that love into the world. Ben, sure, use it on your annotated bibliography. I'm fine with that. Hopefully you saw for both classes, we are not submitting any mastery assessments between now and next Friday. We'll submit them all after spring break. You are welcome to submit them if you want, but they're not due during these next 2 weeks. Part of that is just I don't want you to be overly stressed out about any of it, but also especially like seniors for clearing your missing assignments. It's just going to be really challenging for us to figure out a way to do that in the way that we've done it before. And so I want to make sure that we're clear on that we can do it in the same way that we've done it. And that's easiest to do it after spring break. So yes, Shab, that includes the annotated bibliography. That includes, this week was going to be due the annotated bibliography. We were going to take the CASP IAB. We were going to do our project next week. None of that is going to be due until after spring break. Natalie, we do have, they're sort of like lesson documents. It's going to look different. You're going to be submitting the passion project step by step in Canvas, all of that is already in Canvas. Alicia, no, you do not need to submit the annotated bibliography tomorrow. If you have it and you're ready to submit it and you know that you don't need to make any changes on it, go for it. Submit it. If that's going to make you feel better, feel like you're accomplishing something, that's fine. It's actually a really good reminder. I should put that on my to-do list for today to take those due dates off. So I'm going to make sure that those due dates aren't on Canvas so that we have it. Gianna, I know that you were supposed to give your book talk on the announcements. I'll leave it up to you. If you want to post it in the Flipgrid, like I talked about, go for it. You're welcome to post it there. If not, we can schedule it for when you come back. The announcements will still be happening. We can do it that way. For the rest of you, if your book talk was scheduled this week or next, I put this in Canvas, so hopefully you saw it. You're going to have the choice. If you want to reschedule when we get back from break and do it in class, that's fine with me. That's totally great. If, however, you want to be done with it, you want to move on, I've posted in Canvas, there's a link to a Flipgrid where you can record your book talk and you can submit the written requirement in Canvas. So I've fixed that so that you can sort of do your choice. All right. What other questions do we have? I'm going to take a second to just put this in my to-do list. So feel free in the chat, add whatever questions you have. Okay. Hopefully you all are staying in good spirits. Hopefully you're staying connected. If you follow me on Twitter, hopefully you've enjoyed all of my get-ups. Today is Visco versus Disco. I am already in my gear, so you can start guessing which I am today. Yes, Alina and Hannah, you have the same question, doing YouTube lives every day. Yep, I will be here with my coffee, with a poem, with a book talk every morning at 8 a.m. so that we can hang out and chat. Natalie, the chat meetings that I've been talking about on Canvas, I just put in the links. It's in the announcement. There's links for today. Every morning I'll go in with my YouTube link and the Google Meet links for the day. And I'm glad you're enjoying them. Oh, Navraj, thank you. I got it from the state capitol. Jenna, I was really excited for the rally too. It's a hard time for us because, at least for me, I see both of it, right? Like, I'm really disappointed that the things that we wanted to do aren't happening, but I also am really happy that we're doing what we need to do to protect people who could get really sick from the virus that's going around. So it's been hard. I think it needs to be said more that this is a sacrifice that we are all making. And it's hard. Some people are making bigger sacrifices. The healthcare workers who are sort of on the front lines of this are sacrificing even more, right? They're working incredibly hard and they have to self-quarantine from their own families. And that has to be extra challenging. So yeah, Alina, I think we do appreciate it more now. I know it's been hard. I've been emailing some of you about how isolating it can feel. And I'm hoping things like this can make it feel less isolating, help us feel more connected. Cheryl, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Ms. Lindsay ELA. I'll actually put it in the chat. If you want to follow me, go ahead and follow me there. Most of the year, I'm just posting about like boring teacher stuff. I don't post anything fun. But I know that for a lot of you all, that's where you are. So this is where I'll be. All right. So Jabari, what we'll do is it is 8:30, which is our time to meet for first period. So I'm gonna log out of here and I'm gonna go into the Google Meet, and I will help us figure out how to get that started. We're gonna be our first group doing it today. Um, so for right now, I will say goodbye to the rest of us. Um, Keep up with me, right? Follow me on Twitter, email me when you need help, come into your Google Meet meetings, and I'll be happy to see you there. All right. Always remember who you are, what you represent, and to show your Mustang pride. Here's a hint for my spirit gear for today. See you later, Mustangs.